What's up, everyone? So today I'm going to be talking about God of War Faye. This is the next mainline God of War game, and yes, they said it was a mainline God of War game. And this game stars Deborah Ann, who plays Karen Page in the MCU, and Jack Quaid from The Boys, from Scream 5, from he voices Superman in My Adventures with Superman. He's in a dope movie called what's it called? Novocaine, right? He's done a lot of great movies. So has Deborah Ann Woll, because she's in one of the best TV shows of all time, in the Daredevil show. So you have two great actors leading this thing, and this game focuses on Kratos' wife, Faye. And what we know about it so far is Faye is trying to find a way home to save Atreus and Kratos from, we don't know what it is yet, but apparently Kratos and Atreus are in danger for some reason. And this game takes place concurrently with the two God of War games, so God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. It takes place concurrently with them. So like Faye's on her journey, and we've already experienced Kratos and Atreus' journey up to Ragnarok. I'm wondering if it's gonna go past Ragnarok, like after the end of Ragnarok, this game, and Kratos and Faye and Atreus are gonna somehow reconnect, right? And Faye's a very interesting character from what we know about her. We saw her in Kratos' memories in God of War Ragnarok, and we've heard about her throughout these two games, right? Throughout these two new God of War games, right? Or most recent God of War games. We've heard about her. We've heard how she was a badass warrior who was a defender of the Jotnar, the giants. And we heard that the first time she met Kratos, she fought Kratos, and then they ended up getting married. We heard how great of a mother Faye was. We heard how great of a wife Faye was. We heard that Faye unlocked, well, Faye and Atreus unlocked like a softer, more nurturing side of Kratos, and inspired Kratos to be more open, even though it's hard for him to be open with people. Like, we heard about that. We know that Kratos' axe that he wields in God of War 2018 and in God of War Ragnarok was Faye's axe. And the Leviathan axe, that was Faye's axe before she died. And we've heard stuff about Faye, but this is her own game. Now, this game is not a prequel. It's a game that takes place concurrently with the God of War franchise. So, they didn't say it takes place after God of War Ragnarok. They said it takes place concurrently with it. So, like, they showed the first 20 minutes of the game on Tuesday. They showed the first 20 minutes of the game, and it starts with Kratos and Atreus doing the funeral scene from God of War 2018, where they lay her body to rest, and they send her to the afterlife, right? Because if you know the plot of God of War 2018, they send her to the afterlife, and then they go and spread her ashes on the tallest peak of the realms in the Norse mythology. So that's the plot of that's the basic plot of 2018. And so this picks up with Faye being transported to the afterlife of the gods. And when I say afterlife of the gods, I don't just mean Norse gods, I mean all gods. Because, bro, the director of the game, and Cory Barlog, the head of he's the head of Santa Monica. He's the head of creative at Santa Monica. Cory Barlog's the one who directed God of War 2 from the original trilogy, and God of War 2018, which I personally think the three best God of War games so far in the franchise are God of War Ragnarok, God of War 2, and God of War. Well, no, I think the five best games in the God of War franchise so far are God of War Ragnarok, God of War 2, God of War Free. Shout out to God of War Free. That was the first God of War game I ever beat, by the way. Um, and and God of War 2018. So Cory Barlog directed two of those games. He's not directing this game. I think he said he's consulting on it, and again, he's the head of creative at Santa Monica. So, he's involved. He's involved with all of the decisions at Santa Monica and what they're making and stuff like that. But the woman who's directing this game has been um, involved with the God of War franchise since the very beginning. She said she has been at Santa Monica since 2003, and then she left Santa Monica for a little bit, and then she came back, right? So she's been with the God of War franchise since the very beginning. Then she took a little break, then she came back to work at Santa Monica, and now she's directing this game. So I think we're in good hands, right? And this game it has one hell of a cast, bro. It stars two of my favorite actors. It stars Deborah Ann, who, if you don't know that name, she plays Karen Page in the MCU. You guys know how important the Daredevil character is to me, and that show is to me. If you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, you guys know how important that show is to me, right? So, they got Karen Page from Daredevil to play the lead character in this game, right? And Deborah Ann Woll is a great actress, right? And then they got Jack Quaid, yes, Jack Quaid from The Boys. He voices Superman in My Adventures with Superman. I haven't seen Scream 5 yet, but he plays a character in Scream 5. He was in a dope movie called Novocaine. And he's a genuine gamer, bro. Like, Jack Quaid, if you follow him on Instagram, is a genuine gamer. And both of these actors are two of my biggest acting inspirations. They both inspired me in one way or another to become an actor, right? And one of my goals one day is to become an actor, and you have two of my favorite people starring in this game. So I'm very excited for this game. And yeah, the gameplay looks a lot more acrobatic than Kratos is, right? Like, Faye is jumping up in the air. Eventually, when she gets the talking sword and meets up with the talking cube, when she meets up with the talking sword has ribbons attached to it, and those ribbons are like, if you guys have played Bayonetta, those ribbons are like Bayonetta's hair, but Faye is like wielding these ribbons, and like they're like tentacles. That's what they are. They're like tentacles, so she can grab an enemy and like kick them towards Frank. That's the talking cube's name. That's the character that Jack Quaid plays, and then Frank will bounce them up, like he'll bounce them up into the air, and Faye can jump up and do like an air combo. So it looks more, if Kratos is more brute strength and more like, I can get through anything, I'm Kratos, right? If he's more like brute strength, she's more like, she's still really strong and she still has the magic abilities and stuff like that, but she's more agile than Kratos is. Like, I would say, like, you guys know how Atreus is like flipping through the air and stuff like that. If you've played the God of War games, I would say Faye is more like that, right? But she's still really strong. And basically, what the plot of the game seems to be is Faye is trying to find a way back to Kratos and Atreus to save them, because apparently there's something wrong that Faye thinks is gonna hurt Kratos and Atreus, right? And I'm very interested to dive into this character and see what makes her tick. Because again, we've seen Faye before, but we've seen Faye in very little very very little context. Like, she was in Kratos' memories. We know that Kratos got married to this woman named Faye who birthed Atreus, right? And I'm very interested to see how it affects the God of War universe going forward, because this game seems to take place, or at least the intro of the game takes place in the God afterlife. And when I say God afterlife, I mean um I mean um like all God afterlife. So what Cory Barlog and the director of the game said was, we are going to see some returning characters. That, to me, gets me very excited for somebody like me who's been playing the God of War franchise since the Greek mythology games, right? I think the Greek gods are going to return, or at least some of them are going to return. I think Zeus would be a strong candidate to return, Kratos' dad. I think Athena would probably return, right? I think Ares might return, since we're dealing with different mythology. Like, since the intro of the game is you have two gods of war. You have two Egyptian gods of war. And this game, like they said in the interview, or one of the interviews, because they did an interview with the cast, so they did an interview with Deborah Ann and Jack Quaid, and then they did an interview with the creative director and Cory Barlog, and then they showed the 20 minutes of gameplay. So I think this game's early 2027. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Sony says in September, when they do their next state of play, that this game is coming out in February. Like, that's how far along I think this game is. I think Until Dawn is gonna be the fall. I think Until Dawn and Intergalactic from Naughty Dog. Until Dawn's from Fire Sprite. I might do a video on Until Dawn, because I love the first game so much, and I'm glad we're getting a sequel to Until Dawn, right? I think Until Dawn's next not this Halloween coming up, but next Halloween, 2027 Halloween, I think that's going to be October 2027. I think God of War Faye is going to be February or March 2027, right? I think it's going to be early in the year. And I think based off of Santa Monica's track record with making one of my favorite PlayStation games of all time, or multiple of my favorite PlayStation games of all time, because God of War 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, God of War 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and God of War Ragnarok and God of War 2018 are some of my favorite games of all time as well. So these guys have made a lot of my favorite games of all time. So for me, anything that these guys make is an instant buy for me, right? So, because of their quality level. And God of War Ragnarok, if you haven't played that game is a masterpiece. That game is a masterpiece. And if you haven't checked out my review of it, go check out my review. I'm very proud of that video. That's probably, I don't know if it's still my biggest video to date, but it's one of them. Like, if you haven't seen my God of War Ragnarok review, go check that out. But yeah, I'm really excited for this game. I'm really excited to see how the God of War universe expands, right? I'm really interested to see how many returning characters we get. I think Kratos showing up in this game is a lock. And I'm not just talking about like Kratos in Faye's head. I think we'll see Kratos in the flesh in this game. I don't think we'll get to play as Kratos, but I think maybe we might get to play as Kratos, but that's just me theorizing. The director of the game and Cory Barlog didn't say we get to play as Kratos, but they said Kratos is this game affects Kratos' story. They said that, and by telling Faye's story, I'm sure they're gonna do. I'm sure. Well, this is just my theory again. I'm sure they're gonna show how Kratos and Faye met, right? Because again, we don't really know the Faye character. Like, we've seen her in Kratos' memories. We know that Kratos and Atreus love her, but we haven't really dived deep into Faye's backstory and who Faye is and stuff like that. And that's why I'm excited to see the game, to play this game and to see what story elements and what the story of this game is and stuff like that. Like, what is the threat that Faye is trying to save Atreus and Kratos from, right? And does she succeed in getting back home to Kratos and Atreus, or is there complications in the storyline that force her to stay in the afterlife, right? Because I also think this game is also gonna show Faye like saving the afterlife of the gods, because the people that are ruling it when Faye gets to, well, like, at least from the gameplay, the people that are ruling it when Faye first gets there are not very good people, right? Like, the gods that are ruling it are not very good people. Like, they're trying to torture Faye to get her to be their plaything, basically, and Faye's not having that, right? Like, this is Kratos' wife we're talking about. Like, even though we've only seen 20 minutes of this game got me really excited. The scale of this game is incredible. Santa Monica, like, I know Insomniac's making all the superhero games. Sony, you should get some of your other studios to make some superhero games as well. Keep Insomniac making Marvel games for the rest of my life, please. Thank you. Very excited for Wolverine. I did a video on that earlier yesterday, right? But also give Santa Monica time. Give Santa Monica a superhero game. I would love to see what they do with it, because the scale of this game is incredible, dude. Like, bro, and the visuals are incredible. Now, this is just my impressions of the first 20 minutes of this game. I haven't played this game. Nobody's played this game besides the people inside Santa Monica, right? So I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know how it's going to feel. I can just tell you from my eyes and from my opinions, it looks really good. It looks really good. I can't wait to see what other announcements from the week of gaming announcements that we're going to get this week. Because we still have Summer Game Fest and we still have the Xbox Games Showcase, which both events I'm really excited for, and I will be doing videos on those two events. And hopefully there's more games like this and Wolverine that I want to do dedicated focused videos on. Like, hopefully they do some games that shock me. Like, I would love if anybody would make a Daredevil game. I would love, like, I know we're talking about Deborah Ann, who's from Daredevil, right? So I would love if somebody were to make a Daredevil game and announce that this week, right? Or announce that they're making a Daredevil game, right? I don't care what studio it is. I would just love to play a action adventure Daredevil game, right? And things like that. And hopefully Insomniac or somebody makes it one day. And yeah, but in, like, this game, this God of War game looks insane. The scale of this game looks really good. like again, she's in the afterlife of gods. So like I'm sure we're gonna see multiple mythologies. Like in the 20 minutes of gameplay, we see Egyptian mythology. I would love to see Japanese mythology and Chinese mythology and like Latin mythology and I would love to revisit the Greek mythology, but as Faye this time, to because I don't know how much Faye knows about Kratos' past, right? Right? So I would love to see like her interact with Zeus or her interact with Athena and I would love to see her interact with Kratos and Atreus again, right? But yeah, we still have a long way to go before we get to play this game. Like even if it comes out in February of next year, like Corey and the creative director of this game um said that we're gonna see more soon, right? So I think that's in September. I don't think we're gonna get a thing a release date for this game until September. But I think it's gonna be the next PlayStation exclusive after Wolverine. Like that's how close I think this game is. So yeah, I'm very excited to play this game when it eventually comes out. And yeah, thank y'all so much, and I hope you have a great day. If you have thoughts on the God of War game, God of War Faye game, please leave them in the comments below. Oh yes, but please, guys, and I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to anyway. Please, if you are like, why does a woman have to lead this game? Fuck off. Give them a chance to flesh out the characters and and like don't be like that, dude. Like if you're excited for the next God of War game, please leave your comments. Please leave where you think the story could go and you think what did you think of the gameplay and what do you think the gameplay will evolve into. And but if you're just like, why is a woman leading this game? It should only be Kratos leading this game franchise. Then fuck off with that. Please don't leave stupid shit like that. If you have genuine criticism for that game, for the God of War Faye game and what we've seen of it so far, then you're more than welcome to leave that. But if you're just mad because Faye is leading this game and it's not Kratos, then you need to look at yourself and become a better person, or please leave this channel if you think that only because like you're not even gonna give this game a chance because Faye's leading it. Please leave this channel because I will be covering this game. I will be reviewing this game. I will be playing this game when it eventually comes out. And yeah, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great day. And God bless you guys. Again, guys, sorry for that rant that I just went on about people dissing this game before we even had a chance to see it, and people dissing this game before we even have a chance to play it. But like I've seen some people online that are like that. So that are only like, oh, it's a woman leading this game. I'm not playing it. Why isn't Kratos leading this game? Right? If you're like that, grow up and grow a pair. Right? Let Sony Santa Monica cook. Right? And yeah. I'm very excited to see more of this game. Again, hopefully we get more great game reviews this week. And again, I will be covering Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Games Showcase later this week, and hopefully we get some great stuff from those two showcases as well. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. And yeah, what did you guys think of the game? And yeah, and God bless you guys, and I hope you have a great day.